It is 9:02, and I will call this second meeting of the City of Toledo's Charter Review Committee to order. It's 9:02, April 30, 2024. Roll call attendance, David Robinson here. Todd Cross. Here. Jackie Burns.
Here.
Frank Silva. Here. Lisa Watson.
Here.
Ann Edmondson.
Here.
Eric Erickson.
Here.
Is that the new agenda?
It says.
Yeah.
And also in attendance on Zoom, Mike Adams, City Attorney, City of Toledo, and Lisa Figueroa, our City Recorder. Our first agenda item is to approve the minutes from the meeting held April 4, 2024.
There was a typo in there. I misspelled Eric's first and last.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Hearing none, motion passes. Next agenda item is to review the Toledo City Charter. And am I turning that over to Mike Adams? I think Mike said he was going to lead this first conversation. Yes, maybe.
I'm fine.
You can go ahead and lead it, David.
Okay, I was under the impression from our first meeting that there would be a draft of some suggested changes for this meeting. Did I misunderstand what was happening? So I didn't review any of these to make any suggested changes yet.
I did a draft. What she presented was the kind of the league template recommended charter.
The audio is not good.
I think you are correct, and Mike, can correct me if I'm wrong. We had intended on bringing a draft, but with Mike not being present in person, we decided to kind of opt with just presenting you the league version for now, just to kind of compare it with our current charter. And then we can kind of go from there.
Okay.
Because he did start working on it, and then we've kind of been caught up in budget and stuff, so
Oh,
we
absolutely.
had to shift gears just a little bit.
I think from my position as the chair is, we could all go home and come back with 6 different versions of amendments, and then Mike could come with others, and then the league is going to have their own, which would make for a lot more work and a lot less organization and efficiency going forward. So I would be open to suggestions of how we can proceed between this meeting and our next meeting to start getting a work product, working draft.
So a suggestion I had was to take, at the end of this meeting, take everyone's suggestions that they've had, give them to Lisa, and then any more we have over the next week, email them to Lisa, and then she can compile them all and get them to us before the next meeting so that we can all look through them and make notes on those things. Because you're right, if we go through line by line, we might be here a while.
Oh, yeah, a couple of years.
Doing the comparisons back and forth, because especially if you look at the model charter compared to our charter, sections are not in the same places. And so you have to spend time looking here, then looking here, then looking over here, then looking back here to get a sense of what's going on. And I've already come with notes, but
Same here.
Yeah.
And
I've known you too long, Ann.
for me personally, when I'm rewriting something, I like the flow. So even like the league, when Mike and I were kind of going through it, it had a certain flow to it that I would have preferred. I think it was like where the council responsibilities, where they were further down, I thought they should be closer to the top.
Right.
It was something like
I
that.
know, stuff, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
like, how do we organize it? Because it is a lot, our charter is a lot different than the model one. But I still think we can do it, to be blunt, I think we can do a better job.
Well, that's because we don't fit their chart, their model. We're different than them.
That's why it's only a model, Frank.
What we can do, I can pull up Mike's draft, since most of you have kind of read through the packet. And you have the current and the leagues in front of you, and I can pull up his draft and we can just look at least through section 1 and 2 for
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
If you want to see what he wrote.
Yep, that'd be fine. What do you think? Chair.
I think that's a very good idea, and I think Lisa had sent me an email about getting bounced back. I get most of your email, but if
Okay.
you sent this out in advance, I've been to the League of Oregon Cities Charter Review already, so I can go from memory, but this is the first time I'm seeing it
Yeah,
for this group.
yeah, your email bounced back and
Yeah.
Lisa's, so.
And that's weird because I get other email from you at the same Gmail.
Yeah, I don't, it could have been just the fact that it was multiple, you know?
I thought it was because my storage was full, so I went and emptied out a bunch, and then I was getting more emails, and I kept checking for yours, and it never came through, so I'm not sure what it was.
Welcome to the joys of public office.
Yeah, basically,
Justin, I need my email box expanded. Justin, I need my email box. expanded. Justin, I need my email box.
Mike, is your copy in that folder? I thought it was in there.
This is really a perfect exercise for a Google Doc, except there's no way to run a Google Doc and preserve the public record because it overwrites itself. Yep.
Oh, actually, you can look through histories.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a spot in Google now that you can look at the history and you can see the revision.
How much of a administrative task to preserve a Google Doc and a public record through revision history? Because really, this is what Google Docs is made for, is multiple.
Yeah, but as it's a working document, anything that you before is obsolete anyways.
Mhm.
So as you're editing it, and then once you get to the final one, the working document is obsolete anyways.
Is there anyone that's opposed to keep it, to starting this as a living Google Doc?
Cause I do Google stuff with the council all the time.
I'll need to refresh myself. I haven't done Google Docs since like study guide.
I've done nothing on a computer, so.
I'm hearing a no.
I don't-
Does anybody want to learn as part of this committee?
Yeah, and I'd be
Yeah.
willing to sit down with Ann at like the history
Right.
center or something and show you how to do it, like, cause I'd have to
Yep.
remind myself.
What happens is you get an invitation to join the shared Google Doc in a drive, you accept, and then everyone has editing privileges. You show up with a different color in your initials. And as you go through, you can either put comments on the side, I suggest an edit here, or even edit in the drive, and it overwrites itself. So as we go forward, and the way we do it in other places, we start out with comments, so we can all see each other's comments, talk about them, and move forward.
It sounds confusing at first, but it's actually really easy. Like, it's just like editing a Word document or something online, like, you know.
Maybe visiting the rural places.
Yeah, no, and I'd be more than happy to help you out with that, you know, so.
Just need to get with the times.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I just sent
Show
you
me better.
and Mayor Prost
Good company.
Oh, okay, found it.
that document by email.
Thank you.
Yeah, I basically read through the charter that was provided and I just kind of made notes, and I'm sure some of it is like legalese that I didn't understand. I tried like, you know, looking it up online and.
The old one or the,
No, I didn't get this one. I didn't get this
Yeah.
one. So I looked through the 6-page one that we
yeah,
had
I
and
have some questions.
yeah, and there's just like, you know, some just phrasing, like the one that stands out to me right now, it's like the powers are continuing powers, and I'm like, what does that mean? You know, and I know that might just be like a stupid,
It's
'cause I had to look up what, like,
stupid.
had to look up like definition of city charter as well to make sure that I was like 100% aware of what we were editing. So like, I'm really just gonna apologize in advance. I'm a baby when it comes to all of this, so
Okay.
there might be a lot of redundancy when it comes to.
We all gotta learn somehow. I'm right there with you.
Okay.
Still
So
learning.
let me be blunt. That's the purpose of this,
Okay.
because it's got to not only be able to be read by guys like David and Mike and Lisa who deal with this stuff every day.
Mhm.
It's got to be able to be read by everybody in the citizenry to get, to understand. Because that's part of the issue with government is that, no offense, David, no offense, Mike. But when you start writing a ton of legalese, you start limiting who can understand what is going on. And we need to be able to be understood by the vast majority of our citizens, not 50% plus one, but I would argue 75% plus one. So feel free.
Okay, good, because yeah, like I said, I tried to, there was a couple of times that's like, I just had to read it slowly. And then I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Or out loud.
Or out loud, yes.
You're-
Exactly, yeah, and so just kind of like, this is the first time I've ever had any sort of experience with a document like this. So,
After 18 years in government, there's times I still have to reread something.
all right, that makes me feel a lot better. And I was just like, God, I hope they don't hate me because I'm gonna drag out these meetings and being like, okay, wait, what does that mean? Like, but okay, good.
And it'll help make our attorneys better if they can explain it. Don't grin at me, David.
All right, so,
Can you blow that up? I didn't bring my glasses.
and I should probably darken it for now. It's a little bit light. Let's not-
I can read that.
So that first sentence in that preamble was one of my questions in here. What does it mean by repeal all of the charter provisions? Because what does that mean?
Well, that's what I'm checking too.
Because it's in our original charter as well. You just gotta find it.
Oh, see, I pulled it up on Muni Docs and it doesn't have the preamble on.
Yeah, I didn't have to.
Right here, it's on section 37. That exact sentence is in there. All charter provisions of the city enacted prior to the time the charter takes effect are repealed. So section 37.
I mean, is it kind of like
That's what
a,
I'm questioning.
is it kind of like a recital and a resolution? Because like when you adopt a resolution, you're repealing a previous one. So the way I read it is, this is to say it's repealing all previous versions. And this is the new version.
That's the way I read it.
That's the way I read it. It's like you're doing an ordinance. When you're rewriting an ordinance.
Hey, Mike, you want to check your mic settings? You're getting like a reverb, and so your input might be selecting two different mics.
So,
Is that better?
Nope.
is it like the new charter, you repeal the old charter?
Nope.
Okay,
It means that whatever changes we've made before, if they're temporary, everything else gets more or less deleted and this new one becomes law. In other words.
Let the record reflect, city manager Doug Wiggins has joined.
Is that better, you say?
No, you still sound like you're drinking water.
it's the one where she goes into the TV.
Oh,
Horror movie.
Poltergeist.
Yes, it sounds like poltergeist.
Is that any better?
It's a little better.
Well.
You talking?
Okay, it's down under miscellaneous provisions.
Yes.
Um. Yeah, that just means this replaces the old charter.
Okay.
What?
I was like, Salem, you didn't follow me.
I'm trying to figure out how to reset these settings.
As soon as I heard
Okay, that's
that,
better.
it immediately made me think of your husband, because I met him.
It's
What's better?
Yeah.
He was at beach, I go down, and he was in there.
Morning, Doug.
Yeah.
And he was like.
Way to slide in.
You guys actually live. Right?
For some reason, I had 9:30 in my head, and then I looked and I'm late, so
Funny.
I was finishing up the budget stuff for today.
It's okay.
Okay, I think he fixed it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where I met him.
Yeah.
It's got the same name as my youngest.
Oh. Love it. I love it.
There he is.
That sounds better, Mike. Don't change any settings.
Hello?
And now he doesn't hear us.
Now he doesn't hear us.
Getting somewhere that Zoom meetings are like modern day seances, you know? Hello, can you hear us? Are you there, Mike?
One time I had to sit for a city,
Oh, good.
so I hated it. I gotta do it one more time.
Okay. All right, so we're still in the preamble.
Okay.
Preambles from the National Civic League Model Charter.
Oh, National League of Cities?
No, National Civic League is what it's called.
Okay.
It was actually referenced in the LOC template charter.
Our current preamble is like one sentence, and this one on screen is kind of a couple. I'm gonna defer to David and Mike and see if we need all of that language.
It kind of explains it as three parts. An identification of the source of authority, a statement of the action to be taken, and a declaration of the intent of the charter. The fourth paragraph is are really options that you can insert into the bottom of the third, right? They're kind of what's important to the city.
The one sentence preamble provided by the League of Oregon Cities does the same work that the three paragraphs, the first three paragraphs of our preamble do. I'm agnostic on it. We could keep it, or we can delete it and replace it with a one sentence.
I prefer the simpler the better.
Yeah, I agree. It makes it easier for people.
Yes.
Kind of intimidating in a sense, you know, especially the second paragraph, because it's like, that's like almost like one whole sentence. And it's just kind of like a lot to unpack, so. But I'm the same way, I could keep it, I could leave it, because I see the benefit in it. But at the same time, it is kind of a lot to unpack for average Joe, so.
Overpowering.
It sounds like there's a consensus for keeping the LOC preamble.
That's what I'm hearing. The consensus to reduce and replace the first three paragraphs with the one sentence provided by the League of Oregon Cities as provided, and paragraph number 4, starting with justice, equality, equity. Is that a sentence?
It's just a list.
I don't know what to do with that. I would delete that because it's
The third paragraph, it's options.
They're saying that you could add that in, and
Okay.
it's just, I mean, I like that, but at the same time, it's,
I missed the first part. Are we choosing between the first and second paragraph?
see, so I think we're looking at the,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, the model. And so the model has just like a one sentence preamble as opposed to this one.
So what does everyone think about adding So we have a goal statement.
Page 8, Doug.
Okay,
We have a goal statement for the city council. It reads as such. The mission of the Toledo city government is to provide efficient and necessary public service that protect, enhance the quality of life in Toledo now and in the future as determined by our citizens, the law and available economic resources. Putting something like that in the preamble, make that like a second sentence.
Can you read that one more time? I'm sorry.
Yep. The mission of the Toledo city government is to provide efficient and necessary public service that protect and enhance the quality of life in Toledo now and in the future as determined by our citizens, the law and available economic resources.
I understand that one more than some of this other stuff.
Well, and here's the other thing.
combining that with that first sentence of the LOC one. like,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and follow that up with that first sentence from the LOC, and I think that goes.
That's what I was thinking is that have that as sentence two.
And the other thing you gotta keep in mind too, something I'd ask Lisa, even the smallest word change we do to the charter has to be approved by the voters.
Correct.
So everything we do they have to be able to read through it. And if they can't understand it, speaking for myself, if I don't understand something, I'm not gonna vote yes or no.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Right.
we don't wanna leave
That's
our
an
voters
undervote.
up.
Yep.
Yeah, we don't wanna leave our voters that way. We want them to have as much information as possible, explanation, yakety smackety.
So really big words,
The big words?
really big.
Big
Yes,
words, run on
exact
sentences.
like and
Do not do this in German.
So do we have a consensus for the mission statement and then the first sentence of the LOC preamble?
You want to do the first sentence of the LOC preamble, then the mission, or the other way around?
Me, it makes more sense, to do the mission first.
Yeah, mission
Followed by
first.
preamble.
Okay.
And I do have one question in regards to that. Do we know how the mission statement for the city of Toledo was adopted? Was it by resolution? Was it?
Well, it should have been according to the charter.
Okay, I'll have to double check it, because that mission statement, if it was, then we'll at some point have to do an administrative to repeal the resolution. And that names and boundaries is the second one.
I didn't see anything to change there, but
I think it has to be in there.
it has to be in there. What I'm saying is I'm not seeing anything in ours. Although looks like Mike has some things.
Well, section 1 on the old one, it says title of enactment.
Right.
We
Yeah.
need to change that because it says 1993.
You know what I'm saying? Like you change the date, but
Yeah, so up on the screen.
Yeah.
Mike has that
Oh,
amendment.
okay.
this
change it
charter
from
amendment.
enactment to charter. Yeah.
Yeah,
I got it.
and the name of the city of Toledo, Oregon, continues as a municipal corporation with the name.
Okay.
And then boundaries, limit, while you're reading, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit.
So when this goes to the voter, are they gonna get the old charter in the packet as well as the new charter, or just the new charter?
Just the
new
new charter.
So they won't know exactly what.
We can add both revisions on the website
Right.
for
Okay.
information purposes.
Okay.
Correct. And in the explanatory statement, put in probably the large things you've changed.
This is just for my benefit.
Yeah.
What are our boundaries?
Thank you. Yes, I was gonna.
Okay.
I and how are they determined? Yeah, are they like,
Yeah.
you know,
So,
limits
Look
or?
down here. Okay, the red line is the city limits. The black line, red line is city limits, black line is urban growth boundary.
Okay. And we go by city limits or?
City limits.
Okay.
I just don't want you to get the two confused.
Yeah.
Mhm. And that is not fully up to date because these are now in the city.
And that is like.
That's out by Arcadia and 20,
They logged all the wood out of.
where they logged all the wood out. Both sides are now part of the city limits. To the highway,
Okay.
Is there an updated map available or?
probably with Arlene.
Okay, but like not readily accessible, like on the website?
Yeah, on the website.
Oh, on the website, okay.
I don't know if the one on the
This
website
was
is.
printed in
If
2018.
you have, if you have the updated comp plan on the website, it's on the.
Okay.
I should have done some research, but.
I know, I just wrote it down.
So for the names and boundaries, are these changes okay? When I zoom in or out, it keeps moving on me.
Yes,
Yeah.
makes more sense than the old one.
Yeah, the old one was a lot. Took me a couple times.
Outstanding. And we have a preamble, a mission statement, and chapter 1. Moving along. Powers. Are those comments meaningful on the right side?
Let me see.
Are they?
They disappeared.
Oh.
Oops, sorry.
Okay.
Fortunately, I have a very small screen, so I can't.
That's okay. Does Mike Adams want to discuss his edits?
Mike,
Yeah, it's just I'm sorry that I'm not there in person. The microphone doesn't seem to work very well. I don't know how clearly you can hear me.
Good.
You're good right now, Mike.
Okay, you know,
We're looking at section 2,
hours.
powers.
to the, I just say that continuity of the city's existence isn't broken by the adoption of a new charter. Powers 2.1 is pretty, standard. The option below it is something that was pulled out of Coos Bay. But I don't know that we will ever use, self-liquidating revenue bonds or notes.
Scroll down a little, Lisa, so we can see the rest of that note.
That utility section, I don't know that we will ever use self-liquidating obligations, notes, bonds, but, I was just trying to pull a lot of options from a lot of different places.
Well, it would help if I knew what a self-liquidating bond was.
Yeah.
You there?
Yeah, I think you think of it as something that, we could put out, we wouldn't have to put out to the voters for bonds. Like we would a normal bond.
Section, something that has to be in the charter, or can it just be in an ordinance?
I think without the charter, it hasn't went before the voters, and no, it can't be in an ordinance.
Yeah, I don't see us doing that.
No, I don't know that it's necessary at all.
I'm not familiar with self-liquidating bonds. How common are they? And would it be useful to be able to take a,
According to the definition that Frank just showed me, I don't see us using it because we don't turn stuff around that quick.
It can set a dangerous precedence. I don't know that you can get a city into debt pretty quick doing that. And I'd rather, if you're gonna do debt like that, we go before voters, and I don't know that we wanna. Even if the voters pass this, it would give you that that bridge that the voters passed it, but it doesn't really. So to me, that's a little overboard for me, but that's just my comfortability with finance, I think, the voters.
Yeah, and reading that, it's gotta be a quick turnaround. I mean, it's literally, you do the bond, so you buy it, and within 6 months, you definitely can pay it back. I don't see us doing that. Not in the financial situation that, at least the way we're currently in with 549 and 50.
And we currently have the options to take out loans essentially by ordinance or by ORS at a percentage of RSS value, which is, for us is millions, which I think is plenty that we don't need to do. In essence, that's a self-liquidating bond in a way. I mean, and you can borrow on that, so.
So there's no real need to add this option.
Yeah, there's no real need for this.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mayor. I just wanted to put options in there.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Okay, so consensus is do not include
Right,
Mike's utility burdens.
If I'm tracking properly, it looks like the power section then becomes a copy and paste from the League of Oregon City Model Ordinance. We're gonna replace our current charter sections 4 and 5 with what the League of Oregon Cities has provided to us in their section 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. Because I'm good with that.
Yeah, in other words, for lack of a better word, re-identifying the sections.
Yeah.
We're just taking out our section 4 and 5 and just replacing with theirs 2.1 and 2.2.
Like 3, right?
Oh, is there a point there?
Yeah.
Good on the back.
So question as we move forward, are you guys on the charter doing this as a full repeal and replace or an amendment?
I think we're gonna do a full repeal and replace.
I would say, and lawyers in the room can correct me, but generally I think they like the full repeal and replace than all the amendments, but.
Yeah, I mean, so for example, Lincoln City does single amendment stuff because it's part of their charter when they do a TRT tax. So they have, transient room tax. So every time they have to do it, they have to do a single charter amendment to go in and change that within their charter. But since we're gonna hit several things, we should just do a repeal and replace.
I agree.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're all tracking this.
Exactly.
I think it's more comprehensible to the voters that way as well.
Instead of just a bunch of little knickknacks here and there.
Especially when you leave it. This hasn't been done since you've been in Bristol.
This is older than all of my children.
This is sad, but my wife was only.
Okay, we don't need to know about your cradle robbing tendencies.
Just looking.
Okay, so we're on chapter 3 now, council.
We're on chapter 3 of our current charter. Form of government. Does this track the League of Oregon Cities model, section 3?
If I remember right, no.
It looks like Mike added a little thing in there about,
Actions was added.
yeah.
Okay.
Scrolling.
That's why I was saying you have, if you're gonna go, if you put these two documents side by side, you're looking here and here and here and there and yeah, all over the place, so.
Did we actually, just for terminology's sake, should we actually say city council, city manager? I know
I think
it's-
this is just the council section, isn't it?
Yeah, I know it's just, well, right there at the very end of it, it just says fundamental democratic element of the council manager plan with a hyphen. And I feel for like terminology's sake,
Like to see definitions.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what that means, council manager plan.
Yeah, because I've never heard it referred to as the plan. I've heard it referred to as council manager form of government.
Yeah.
We can just.
So
put-
so for those of you that don't know, in a council manager form of government, council sets policy, manager handles the day-to-day details. Okay, if you look at Portland currently, it is an example, okay, they're commission style. So each one of them, each one of the people on their council is in charge of a bureau of the government. Okay, so for example, the mayor in Portland is in charge of the police. Okay, in other places, there's what they call strong mayor form of government, and in strong mayor form of government, the mayor is essentially the city manager. There are other variations on the council manager form of government where the mayor gets veto power. I veto that idea. But they don't get to vote otherwise. I mean, there are all different kinds of ways but the general thing is strong mayor, council manager, or commission. We're in the council, city manager form of government.
And we are keeping that.
We are keeping that.
So we can just change the word plan with form of government.
Yeah,
Correct.
that is, make more sense to me.
It's safer for all involved. And I don't even know what to call what they're doing in Portland after this year.
They're moving to council manager, I think.
Well, you know, they're moving there, but have you seen how,
There's so many.
well, and it's not just so many people, it's so many people per ward. And so David's grinning because he knows exactly where I'm going.
Section 3.1. Duties.
So this is, we're correlating the two, section 3 on the LOC with our chapter 3 on our original charter. Is that, am I understanding that correctly?
We're trying.
Cause yeah, there's, that one's city council, this one's form of government.
Yeah, for the sake of going through this, I mean, numbers are just kind of,
Okay.
yeah. We'll get that all lined up as we move forward.
Yeah, because we're gonna be inserting things, we're gonna be moving stuff around, so it's.
I just wanted to make sure I was looking at the right.
So I have a question. What are all the red lines in between like mayor and 6? What do those lines mean?
He has some notes, let me.
Oh, yeah, he has notes. That's what I mean.
Oh.
That's that Google Doc thing.
Okay.
So for this one. Charters provide that the mayor is not a member of council. This motto recommends that the council include the mayor as a member. This means that the mayor participates in and votes on matters before the council, as do other council members.
You basically have two. You have some where the mayor only votes if it's a tie-breaking vote, and then you have some where they vote all the time.
We vote all the time.
city at large mean?
It just means the whole.
So if we don't do
Some cities-
boards, so like in Lincoln City, if you noticed how they do, you have to have a counselor from the knee parts area, you have to have a counselor from the
Okay.
taft area, you have to, well,
Okay,
we do it.
Little boundaries within the city
Yeah.
and they're assigned to that boundary.
I see,
But they don't have to actually be from that boundary?
I see,
No,
okay.
they do it. In Lincoln City, they do. That's why they went even longer than we did with vacancies. Yeah.
Getting, so.
Let's just make it harder and harder, why don't we?
Well, and that's, you
A
know,
lot of towns within there, so what was it?
well, and that's why they do it.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
Lincoln
that,
City
that
is
makes
seven
sense.
little towns
okay.
Yeah.
formed into one.
I'm thinking just
Yeah.
city
I
part
always
itself.
thought that this section of our charter was really tidy. It was efficient. Got the job done. I don't know how much changing I would want to do with that.
Well, one of the things we talked about as far as the old charter is section 11 salaries. One of the things we talked about is the reason we've had vacancies for so long is it's really hard to get people to volunteer their time free of charge.
Yeah,
So one of the things we talked about is the possibility for pay for council, council president and mayor. However, not to start until the final person that's on city council has to go up for reelection, meaning I'm on until 2027. This couldn't start until after my reelection. So it's not like we're trying to pay ourselves.
Sure.
We have to actually get reelected.
We would need to change section 11.
Yes.
Because I don't want to have the council to be the one that has to change that. I want the voters to have to change that.
Yes. That way it's not looking like we're trying to line our pockets and being correct. That way, everybody has. a
Now,
chance.
we had more than one person comment about, well, I'd have to get childcare and I don't know if you know what that costs now and yeah.
well, I think it, from just quick Google searches, it seems like it's not out of the norm for
Not anymore.
counselors to receive compensation, you know, so.
We had a gentleman show up, I don't remember what his name is, he's building these buildings over there. by-
Oh, John Robinson.
Yeah, and he did some research on Corvallis and the amount of money that they're paying their counselors and stuff, and I don't think that we ought to offer that here because we are not Corvallis, but a little stipend and putting in there that the counselors can say no. We don't have to accept the money. If we don't want the money, it can stay within the city. I don't know what that's called.
Mike and I do plan to bring back that compensation discussions. But with that one being a heavier discussion, we figured we'd bring that.
That should be its own.
Yeah, a later date. We wanted to kind of get the rest of the,
I only brought it up because we were talking about the forms of government and that was
And that's section
part of that
11.
section.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm good with talking about that later. I just didn't want to get overlooked.
Backtracking a little bit, I don't know if we're gonna include it, it was in section 10, other officers.
Section what? Oh, 10.
Yeah, section 10, other officers the council considers necessary. Is there any limiters on like appointees for that? I guess I was just kind of. Like, who would you appoint? Like, is there a hypothetical?
Yeah, that's in the draft that I did, that's in section 8. But normally that's the city manager, the city attorney and the judge.
Right, but under our section 10, it says, under our section 10 of chapter 3, it says that we can appoint other people besides those three.
Yeah, and.
That's what she's asking about.
I kept that, Mayor, that's just, it's later in section 8 of this draft.
Then my question is like, is there like limiters on that? Because it's, you know, the council considers it necessary, like. I guess I'm just like, what other appointees would there be? I guess I just need kind of a hypothetical.
I guess maybe the clarification would be what differentiates an officer versus, because they can like appoint this committee. Is that considered an officer as well? Or is it just a?
Yeah,
I think one of the key distinctions of an officer would be coverage under the city's insurance policy and liability for the actions of the officer. Mike? Adams?
Yeah, and I think that's typically the, when it uses officer, a lot of them are typically referring to the city manager, city attorney, municipal court judge, or other people that council may appoint. For
I guess what it-
example,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm the attorney, I was hired as the attorney and the land use planner. It
So-
allows the flexibility of the council to appoint other officers that they deem they want to work for the council rather than the city manager.
Yeah, that's trying to think back through all my years here, who that might have been,
The only other officer I can think of is an interim city manager.
right, the pro tem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's in there somewhere too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to look that one up.
by general practice, not very many cities appoint outside of those basic.
yeah.
okay.
Sometimes the city manager is also considered a city recorder in smaller cities because they serve as the city administrator.
They will appoint their police chief and fire chief as well. Sometimes I've seen that as well, but just depends on your setup and how you want your city.
Do we do that here?
No, that's why we do council manager.
This
don't do that.
allows for some flexibility.
So I can think of a time, so we have made an appointment, but we immediately put it under the city manager. That was back when we had Celeste Matthews running the Main Street program. We made the appointment, but she was directly answerable to the city manager. She had to come and give reports like any other department head, but her day-to-day operations were under the city manager.
Yeah, her title was like something coordinator. I
Yeah,
remember
community
right.
coordinator
Yeah,
or something like that.
So we
But-
generally don't do much appointments.
No,
Besides committees and.
yeah. Well, as far as, appointing an officer, yeah, we don't, yeah. I think that was the only one I can think of that even comes close.
Well, that's everywhere.
And I think we had to do that because she was our representative with the Main Street program. That was part of their thing.
Dom's got to remember.
Please.
Okay.
And I have someone in mind for chief dog catcher. Oh, no, I'd like to see Larry do it.
That's about as funny as being the tree forester. I think Larry should be the dog catcher.
By the way, did you perform your duties well last week?
He did.
Yes, he did.
Good.
It was attended by all of just the city council members. Nobody showed. Not a single city member. Right. Lisa had fun kicking booty on Connect Four.
Why does that not surprise me?
Okay, so. David had mentioned that he thought our charter current was pretty succinct.
Yeah.
Um,
Section.
For section
10.
10?
for the powers.
Oh, no, that's other officers.
Yeah,
You need more
chapter
powers
3.
and more powers vested, is that what you're talking about, David?
The form of government, the entire.
Chapter 3, the entire.
So the entire chat, okay, gotcha.
So I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay with that, if we had any other
Double
comments.
check.
Well, and I think there's so many, Mike had so many good comments, I'm having trouble keeping track from the stream, so I haven't spent some time on my computer in his version that he emailed and maybe rethink that. If there's a better way to word all, I'm all for it.
Because we can always come back to it too.
Did all of those did that get emailed to everybody?
I don't know.
Not yet. I don't-
I can
you
share
send me a
it with,
copy?
we can share it with
Yeah,
everybody.
let's make sure this gets shared out and that we all get a chance to look at things.
That'd be a good thing to look over.
One of the questions I have is, why are vacancies split up? In other words, why aren't vacancies in where we talk about the council?
Vacancies talked about.
Which one are you looking at right now? Our current charter?
Yeah,
Okay. Let me go back to that.
Under drainage.
well, under our current one, we split up 3 from 4 and 4 from 5, and so we've got things kind of all over the map here.
And then you're saying chapter 8 is vacancies in office? Is that what you're talking about? Or?
Yes,
Which is probably one of those things that I will address as far as readings flow.
because one of the things I noticed in ours about vacancies, and because the way ours reads, if I remember correctly, someone correct me if I'm wrong, because it'll make life a lot easier. Says when a newly elected counselor takes over. But it says the term for the previous one ends at the end of that calendar year. I think we need to change it so that there's no, for lack of a better word, power vacuum.
Yes and yes. Vacancies in office probably should move over.
Are you talking about like the term ending as the new one gets appointed?
Or, yeah, as when the new one is appointed, when the new one is sworn in. So
So
that,
I'm used to that.
yeah,
We used to actually kind of have, for a better word, ceremonious little incoming and outgoing.
Right.
We would- At the first meeting of the year, we would have the original council start the meeting. And then once we did the swearing of the officers, then we would change seats.
Right.
And have like a little, cake going away, stuff like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think it says that somewhere in here that if you're elected here.
I don't believe so.
Not typically.
Because usually, everywhere I've been, when they have after the election, like I said, your current council starts the meeting and then they have like a ceremonial.
Yeah, we don't do that, which I think we should.
Yeah, and
Because right now, I think we have that however many day vacuum between the 1st of January and when the meeting is,
Yeah.
where there's no one there.
And then generally
Mayor.
what we've done is also as the outgoing mayor, if he's outgoing,
Yeah.
we give a state of the city speech at that time, right before handing the gavel over to the new mayor, so that they know where they're at, But
yeah, what you're talking about, I don't think it's in the vacancies. I think it's further up on the charter, but I remember coming across that.
Yeah,
one too.
That's what I mean. They mentioned vacancies like 3 different places.
yeah,
Yeah,
They do.
And I think we should like consolidate that.
yep, that will.
there's either 2 places you could put it. It's under council, or you can put it under the elections portion.
Right.
It'd be under one of those 2.
It has to be somewhere together.
Yeah.
Because and under the elections portion, it also makes sense because you're gonna talk about your elections, but if a vacancy exists, this is what's gonna happen until the next.
I'm lost.
Thank you.
Where are you?
You're absolutely right. No,
We are
now you understand what I was talking about. It's everywhere.
So
Yeah.
on page 12 of our current charter, there's chapter 8 vacancies in office. And
I could argue.
this is on our
Charter. page 12.
charter.
Oh, the polls?
Yeah, not the League of, not the LOC, our charter.
The old one, page 12.
Yeah, and it's 12 of 13.
Okay.
And it's chapter 8 vacancies in office, section 28 vacancies occurrence. And it's just like, it just doesn't seem like it's in the right place.
Location.
Yes.
Okay.
And so, but then but then it was saying that it may not be in this particular section because vacancies
Goes to the.
are discussed somewhere else and there's this weird turnover situation essentially. So, but it's just like, yeah, it needs to be essentially put together and then in a different spot.
did write something down underneath that section that doesn't have any. I mean, it does, but it's,
It's okay, go.
section 28, two. B, the 75% absence of all meetings.
Mhm.
That seems really high. Was there a reason why it was put that?
Within
high?
a 6-month period.
Yeah, why not half?
Well, okay. I think what it was in there for was for medical emergencies.
That was gonna be my question. Is it an unexcused absence or?
Well, and that may be something we need to clarify. And now with Zoom, maybe we do need to drop it to 50% because you can do Zoom from anywhere.
But that's missing 13 of 18 meetings in a 6-month time period.
Right.
And that's quite a
I
few.
think that the reason it was in there because it was back in the day, you didn't have Zoom. B, medical recovery times were a lot longer.
I would think a medical thing, there should be some type of an exception.
Right, well, and maybe that's what we put in unexcused,
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
right?
but just as reading through that, I thought, wow.
I mean, because Sharon missed 8 meetings before,
With her heart
yeah,
stuff.
before she passed.
Yeah,
Um, But yeah, we all understood why.
Then I have another note, since we're just right in the neighborhood, failure, section 2, or excuse me. Section 28, 2A, failure following election or appointment to the office to qualify for the office within 10 days after the time for his or her term of office to begin. What would make one fail to qualify?
So,
Because
it could be in a situation where a candidate is a write-in candidate. And so there's a timeline that you have to send them a form and they have to accept the position before they can actually be
Okay.
in office.
Okay,
And also too, before a counselor is a counselor, they also have to perform an oath of office.
yeah.
Residency requirements.
That was why, because I'm like, you have all of these requirements to just essentially put your name on the ballot. What could happen in between that and actually?
Okay. In this economy, you lose where you're living.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking, but I just wanted to clarify that.
Well, and I was gonna save this for down the road, but I'll throw it in now, just so you know what's coming. I don't like appointing people to 4-year terms or even 3-year terms. I think we need to do, if you're gonna be going longer than 2 years, I think you need to go before the voters. So you appoint them to the end of that next, for lack of a better word, general election cycle. But then we'll put it up for ballot. And it's not you, it's just, we seem to be doing that a lot more in the last 5-7 years. I just think that, when we have people who are elected and then don't even serve a year, we need to do something about changing that because the idea is it should go before the voters. Did that make any sense?
So like you're saying, if they're replacing somebody for 3 years of their 4-year term, you're saying they need to be up at the next
So,
Tuesday.
right, you would appoint them to the end of that next general election. And then you have an election for the last 2 years of that particular office.
Keep them on vacation.
Just to.
So they could only be
Decide on
going
that
up.
vacant position.
Right,
Right, so they could be, you're saying they would only go up for election for the remaining, not for a new 4-year term.
no, not for a new 4-year term, but like it's over 2 years,
Your stuff.
yeah.
I'd be
But-
curious, I have to run that through my head logistically. I need to process that because,
There you go.
yeah,
So process away. It's okay. Yeah, we don't need an answer today.
yeah, that's an
Do you
interesting
think that
concept.
might have a unwanted effect of discouraging participation? If you appoint somebody and they then have to, within 1 year or a collection of months, then
We've
have to
done it
run.
before. It hasn't
have to run
stopped
for the
people.
Same office? Okay. Well, running for office can sometimes be a higher hurdle than just sitting and showing up and doing the work of an appointed.
It can be, but it hasn't been my experience.
Okay.
I mean, our current council president was in that boat.
All right.
Our So coming from a town that had problems filling and they appointed people. And then they'd have elections, but nobody would run for the seat, and then the people would want to be reappointed. Our council took the position at that time that if you were appointed once and you didn't run, they didn't reappoint you.
Yeah.
Because if you're not willing to go before the voters, they're not gonna reappoint.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta be careful about.
Yeah.
If I was, if I was appointed and then for a 3-year, then I, did my duties for a year and then they were like, okay, the next 2 you gotta go up for election, that would be for me, reassurance that I'm fulfilling the duties correctly,
I like your idea, Doug.
I had a good idea.
I do like what the League of Oregon Cities did by rolling elections and vacancies into one second.
Yeah.
I do too.
That makes sense.
I think the vacancies make sense in elections.
Okay, so that I know what we're doing, how long are we intending these meetings to go?
We're at the 10:05 mark. Did we budget 90 minutes for this meeting?
Two.
Up to 90?
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so-
I couldn't remember whether it was an hour or 2 hours, but I want to make sure to be cognizant of staff time.
For sanity.
Thank you very much.
Plus, I think once after you hit like the hour and a half, it just everything kind of gets scrambled a little bit.
So where are we in our thing here?
So we're still
chapter
up at
So we're-
3.
three?
Yeah, we're still under city council. So we went through the general powers and duties. I didn't hear any comments in regards to David's thoughts about our current charter section.
We're going to discuss salaries as a breakout
Yes.
at a later date.
Yep, at a later date.
Test my lawyer reading comprehension skills, but doesn't section 11 authorize salaries for City of Toledo officers already? I mean, am I reading that wrong?
I think, well, it says the employee shall be an amount fixed by the council. I don't think, do we set?
Each city officer and employee. Mike?
Section 11 on which chapter?
Our current charter, chapter
Well,
3,
city
section 11.
officer, if you look at our current charter too, and Mike's obviously gonna correct me, but if you look previously, it talks about the council appointing officers, so that would include like the city.
I don't think we're considered
It
officers.
does. No, I think the officers are the judge, the attorney, and the manager.
Okay. Well, then section 10, maybe get rid of that, having this as other officers, because that's terribly confusing to me.
It is.
That's why we're going through this.
Okay.
And it's why I'm glad I have 2 attorneys in the room.
Sorry, Lisa, if you were talking, and I sort of derailed that. We'll talk about salaries in a different breakout.
No, that's fine.
What are we talking about right now?
Whether or not.
We're going through, we're currently on our charter at section 12, qualifications.
Okay.
Wait, can we backtrack just a second?
You bet you.
Are we actually getting rid of section 10 other officers? That allows for the council to appoint other people.
No, I think we're moving that to, at least in the draft that I did, to section 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to keep it there because there are, like I was saying, the thing with the Oregon Main Street, at least at the time, it had to be an officer of the city, and so I
It could
think
be
that's
some
why.
sort of requirement of a grant.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, which one of you 2 had that? Well, that was you. Rock on. Cowboy dude.
It's the judge, I mean.
Yeah, do we have a,
Oh, yes, we do. Name?
Arnold
Arnold
Poole.
Poole. See, I wanted to say Poole, but I couldn't remember his first name, so
Arnold?
Arnold Poole.
Arnold, yeah.
And the one day I was in court, he did a great job.
Is that pool with an E or?
Yes.
POOLE.
No idea.
I guess that's a good thing.
Right? I mean, yeah.
So, okay, I have a couple of things open. So I have the draft up on the screen and I am currently on page 9 of our current packet, so. Want to make sure that we're all.
I am. I've lost a little track of the adding and then subtracting. I think the fundamental takeaway I took is that chapter 3 of our current code is just gonna be form of government. And we're gonna take out some of the specifics
Yep.
and move it into its own section, the way Mike Adams has it.
I think that makes sense.
And were we gonna add in that section there for section, or the part on section 8 for counselors about, going up for reelection if you sit in for that one seat?
We will when we get to that part. Elections, because that's what it'll fall.
Oh, that's where it's
Yeah,
gonna move to?
vacancy and
Okay.
election, yeah,
Okay.
we'll move it to that.
And it's, and then.
So currently on the screen is Mike's draft, section 3.4, council president.
Perfect.
So our,
Oh, okay, so you're all the way down in our section 17 there, right?
Chapter 4, council.
yes,
Okay.
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, lawyers. I need some clarification here. Under qualifications of officers, under our current charter, it reads. Okay, to be eligible for an elective city office, a person at the time of election must be a qualified elector within the meaning of the state constitution and have resided in the city during the 12 months immediately preceding this election. And then it says, for the purposes of this subsection, city means all area included in the incorporated limits as of the date. Oh, okay, sorry. I kept reading it as this, not the. And I'm like, wait a minute, what about when we annex somebody?
Sometimes it makes a difference when you read it out loud.
I kept reading this.
Well, and again, Mayor, we have that distracting heading, the qualifications of office, was gonna talk about elective city office.
Yeah, when you have qualification of officers and then up above on section 11, we're talking about compensation of a city officer, but yet we're talking about elected down here, but up here we're meaning.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very convoluted.
Whoever drafted this was a genius, because it's not gonna work there. What do you want it to mean? I think
What do you want it to mean?
Yeah, like, choose your adventure.
So this person went on to work in Washington DC is what you're trying to tell me.
Absolutely.
So for that reason, do we need a small section for definitions and just basically city council means this and city manager means this or officer means
It might
this?
be
I
wise.
think it would be wise, especially since we're putting this out to the voters.
Something that kind of,
I mean, you don't
You know
really need
what,
very
Walt?
many
We
definitions.
do this with an ordinance,
Yeah,
right? With ordinances, we put down definitions of terms so that it's all understood throughout the document.
And shouldn't the qualifications for an officer be under the elections tab?
If you're talking about an elected.
Not electeds,
Yes,
Yeah.
which this seems to be doing, shouldn't it?
and there you go. Now you know I made that statement a while back. We're all over the map in here about elections and, yeah.
I have mine there. Okay, so definitions. Officer.
So I know this is, I don't know if this was just touched upon, but, what does compel the attendance?
make them show up.
Where's that?
It's underneath, section 14 quorum of our, current charter.
Oh, chapter 4, section.
Chapter 4, section 14 quorum, and compel the attendance of absent members in a manner provided by ordinance.
So the way it is now, in order to conduct a business meeting, of the governing body of the city council, planning commission or whatnot. They have to have a forum of the.
Yeah, you have to have a certain number of people there to make decisions. I get that, I do, but I just was like, I know, and I've heard compel the attendance and like.
And so what could happen is, say, 3 council members are here and the rest haven't showed up. So the 3 can start calling the other councilors to
Okay,
get them to
And,
come to the meeting.
okay, this comes straight out of, okay, good old American municipal history.
yes,
This is something that has occurred across our history. So you have, so in our case, say 3, okay? We're here to do business. We know that there are 2 counselors that know they'll get outvoted 3-2 on whatever the issues are that are on there. So they stay home, so we can't do the job.
yeah,
And this keeps happening and keeps happening and keeps happening. This allows us, the 3, to go, nope, we're sending the gendarmes after you. And the gendarmes will bring you to the meeting so that we can conduct business. We know you're in town. We know you're just skipping the meeting to stop business from going forward.
okay. I wanted to I guess.
Oh, this has been a tried and truth. Oh my God.
I know,
City
that's
of New
why
York
I-
used to do this all the time.
I Googled it and it's like, I know it's like in the Senate and the blah, 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 and it's like, you know, that's the language. And so I recognize it was language I'm just not understanding.
It's never happened here that I know of.
Okay,
Okay, but especially in larger cities, early in the 20th century, it happened a lot.
The Oregon Senate likes it.
Section 13. And I think you'll
Yeah.
remember where I'm coming from on this.
Okay.
It says the council should hold a regular meeting at least twice a month. Should we change that to 3 times a month so we don't have arguments of one person? You know what I'm getting
I
at?
know exactly what you're saying, and no, I want to keep it at that
Okay.
because that saves November and December.
Okay.
3 times a month seems like a lot.
So I much
3
prefer
days.
the League of Oregon Cities version that says a minimum of once a month. So that the council rules, you can expand it from an ordinance.
Okay, well, I will tell you now that we have a counselor that would say, well, that would be fine.
Yep. He volunteered for the position, then he wants to only come once or twice a month.
And thus, everybody checks. It's like, I like it twice a month.
Yeah.
I like twice a month.
The reason I like twice a month is that for a small city, we do a lot. Okay, and we used to start meetings at 7 PM.
That's.
We had meetings that I didn't get out of here until midnight 30. I don't want to do that anymore. I like starting at 6 and the latest I get out of here is 10. Then I at least get a decent night's sleep before the next day. Because I'm wound up for 2 or 3 hours after I get out of one of these meetings. So you can imagine what the midnight meetings were like. Yeah, no.
Can we go back really quick to council president?
Okay, let's see.
What's that at?
It was.
Old or new?
Section 17.
I'm kind of on.
Okay, on the new, it's section 17. I mean, on the old, it's section
Yeah.
17. Thank you, Ian.
Okay.
On the new, it's section 3.4. So according to the league's version.
It's every
it's-
year.
Yeah, it's every year, but our current one is, they're voted on after an election, which is like every 2 years, or
Right.
something like that.
Yep. I like ours and because council president, it takes a lot of learning because you've got to be able to do the mayor's job in the mayor's absence. And so I like the 2-year, essentially 2-year terms.
I agree.
Okay, so that's one of my questions. So it's still 5 years for year 2.
Yeah, because trying to learn all the stuff that you gotta do to follow you in a short amount of time and then have it sent to somebody else. It's
Well,
how that works.
it took years for us to be able to follow Sharon. You know, I was on council for 6 years before I was council president. And then Sharon passed away in April of her first year in office there on that term.
So we have like 15 minutes left.
Yep.
Can we get through this section?
Yep.
Then really?
Chapter 4.
Yeah, through the city council still. So we're on rules.
All seems pretty cut and dry on chapter 4.
Notes. Except for the, can tell the appendix issue.
Yeah. That's a good question.
On rules, are you just saying, like, there's no time frame. It says the council must by resolution adopt rules. Is that to be reviewed at any time, or is that just they're in
Should be
place
reviewed
until
yearly.
whenever?
Yeah, should be reviewed yearly.
How about like every couple of years following an election? Like maybe not the year of the election, because sometimes you'll have a brand new
Year of the
council.
election
The
or,
year after an election. Would that
That's
be?
doing it every 2 years.
Yeah, every
Yeah,
2
just-
years, just reviewing them. They don't have to be amended or whatever, but
well, that's fine, but let's come back at some point then with a resolution stating that in, say, March, council will have a meeting where council rules are reviewed. So that those new people know what they've just stepped into.
yeah, so the language would provide for some sort of periodic review
Right.
and adoption by resolution.
I think the sentence is fine as is, that the council shall adopt rules for the government of its members and proceedings without putting any more.
Right, I understand what you're
dates and
saying.
times
Keep
to
it
it.
simple.
Keep it simple, and then they are council rules, so it is usually a council-driven operation, and it might not be something that the council feels strongly about talking about for 4 or 5 years if the rules work and everyone understands them.
That is true.
Where is that?
The last sentence of section 13 on the existing charter, council shall adopt rules, so these are council rules.
Okay.
Usually like one section will adopt Robert's rules of order, how we do our business.
It's looking wrong.
It's under section 3.5 on page 10, if you're looking on the new.
Yeah, the LFC one, yeah, that's what I was looking at, that's why I was,
Yeah.
right.
Okay, under quorum. As I read our definition of quorum under section 14. We could still do business with 2 people. And I don't think that's right.
Personally, I think a quorum should be of the full governing body regardless of vacancies.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
To just reword it.
Yes.
Does that make sense, David? You like scrunched your eyebrows.
Yeah, there's 7.
So that would mean that we would always have to have a quorum of 4.
Or,
Yeah.
Well, I
no, but it doesn't work because if we have 3 vacancies, then one person can never be absent.
We know.
That was the way it was until recently.
We know.
Well, I guess especially with like Zoom and whatnot, you know, you have the.
If I remember right, because Baker City just went through this, if you don't have a quorum, the commission can step in and assign
Yes.
at their leisure who they want to fill until a quorum can be had.
Yeah.
And I believe that's ORS that establishes that. And it's based off your full elected.
Right.
You have 7, if you go below 4, the commission can step in and assign somebody until you can get
But
somebody.
it also, how do I say this? It also behooves the 4 of us, because we've been in this position, we were in this position for a year. To get people, you know, that's why we're talking to people. We're out talking to people all the time about, you know, volunteering to be on, and that's why we ended up at the whole salary discussion, because we kept hearing over and over again. One of the first questions people ask, well, what does it pay? And when you say nada, they say, see ya.
Understandable.
Yep.
Now, sometimes there were good reasons for the C. Other times it was, wow, seriously?
I gotta go to another meeting at 10.
Yep,
Thank you guys.
yep.
I don't think two people is sufficient to conduct business.
No. Well, that's why we made sure, and we called that one meeting because we knew we couldn't get our report. And I think that's right. I think that's the way it should be. Because we represent the whole city, not just a couple of people's ideas. Because at that point, say it's the mayor who sets the agenda, okay? If I was one of the two people, there you go. I don't want anybody to have that kind of power.
Well, then the quorum section in the LOC version 3.7, I think gets the job done.
Let me go take a look at that.
It's on the screen.
Okay. Thank you. 3.7.
It's a 7.9 section. Vacancies against 7.
I like that last sentence in there. In the event of a vacancy due to resignation or other events, the quorum is reduced accordingly solely for the purpose to make necessary appointments to reach required quorum as outlined in section 7.9.
I actually don't understand that section. Why would it?
Okay, so what that means is, so like when, say that someone else resigned at the same time Wade did.
Mhm.
Okay, then the three of us could still meet to go through the appointment process,
But not any.
but not anything else.
Oh, gotcha.
Only to appoint one
Only
council
to
member.
appoint only to appoint the,
Yeah.
City business.
Right.
just the appointment of the people going on, right?
You're appointed by a majority of the remaining council members.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty nifty clause, courtesy of the LOC. I like that.
Well, I think it's because of what we've been seeing. I mean, King City just lost everybody.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Well, 4 of them got recalled and the other one said, screw it.
Have no government.
Oh, no, they're finally all back together, but they went 3 months with nothing. What do we want to call it here?
I think so.
There's
I
a
think
lot
it's
to
up
digest.
Noting that pesky word shows up officers in chapter 5 and then there.
Just like section.
Okay.
Two more.
Yeah.
And then we'll can't,
Be done with
you
that.
can't put down a book in the middle of a chapter.
I thought we were done with chapters. That chapter, I mean.
We have through section 3.8 on Mike's version.
Oh, and Mike,
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at our
I
own.
know, I'm looking at.
I thought we just went through it all. You had to come in there. I mean, it's not hard. I am Portuguese, but still.
So
No
vote
problem.
required. For me, just the way my logic goes. I cannot appreciate when terms go back and forth, like at one person, in one section before they say council members, the next one they say council, or they say governing.
Yeah,
body.
no, there needs to be a
Yeah, we
uniform.
need a uniform way of
Yeah,
referring
we
to
need
it.
to.
I like council, but
That 3.8 is confusing. The express approval of a majority of a quorum of the council is necessary for any council decision, except when this charter requires approval by a majority of the council. That's the same thing.
Yeah, that does sound a bit redundant.
It's the same sentence back to back.
It's a
What
palindrome.
does ours say?
Ours is short. It's section 18 of our current
So
charter.
this-
It's kind of reiterating the exception in the quorum section.
right, but then wouldn't that be better than to say except as noted in this charter?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
do the first sentence and then except as noted in this charter, because that second sentence just looks like a rework of the first sentence.
Yeah,
So
That's where I
we're
got confused.
doing this right here, that's it.
We're talking about, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and that was, yeah, that was just LOC's draft language, but yeah, I think what you suggested makes sense, Mayor.
So can we get rid of the express approval and just say a majority of the quorum of the councils?
That seems like fluff.
Because the express approval, just logistically, when you're making a vote, I almost misconstrue it as
No,
only approved votes will be accepted, but
I'm gonna reiterate what David said. I like section 18 in our charter where it says, except as this charter otherwise provides, the concurrence of a majority of members of the council voting when a quorum of the council is present shall decide any question before it.
Agreed.
Because that covers the other issue about the quorum.
Yeah, because we've noted it in
When a
other parts.
quorum is present, no matter what the quorum in it itself is at the time.
yes.
I like
Thank you,
that.
David.
the term express is intended to clarify that abstaining from voting may not contribute to an affirmative vote. It's a no vote.
Okay, so what happens when they have a conflict of interest? Are you saying that it just becomes an automatic no vote?
Yeah.
The way it's,
I think maybe we pick that up in the charter, in the council rules, what happens under an abstention, that it doesn't contribute to a no vote. It's just,
You recuse yourself and it's a.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
bye, Jackie. Well, this is a good place to stop. We can think about what it means to abstain, whether it needs to be in our charter and council rules.
Right.
at common law, the abstaining was concurring with the decision. So I think what they're doing in this language is flipping that. But yeah, something. to
Understand how an
ponder.
abstention does either.
Yeah, I thought it was just, it's a non-vote. Undecided.
I'm with you. I did not know that about the common law. Thanks, Mike.
I didn't know that about common law either, but I also didn't think that it automatically became a no.
I know somewhere buried in the legal organization stuff, there's talk about what happens for abstentions and voting.
We'll have to look that up. Mr. Chair, are we completed for today?
We are at the 10:30 mark exactly, and I will call this meeting adjourned.